Before he was the most feared man on the planet, he was the kid everyone picked on. Overweight, a lisp, thick glasses, bullied constantly on some of the most violent streets in America. He was so gentle, so shy, that he kept pigeons. And one day, a local bully grabbed one of them and killed it right in front of him. That was the moment something broke open. That terrified, bullied boy threw his first punch. His name was Mike Tyson, and the story of how he went from that to the youngest heavyweight champion in history to losing absolutely everything and back again is one of the most brutal lessons in human nature ever lived out in public. Tonight, all of it. Starting with the one thing he understood about fear that almost no one else does.
A broken kid like that should have been swallowed by the streets. Instead, in a reform school, a former boxer spotted something in him and sent him to an old trainer named Cus D'Amato. And Cus didn't just teach Tyson to fight, he rewired how Tyson thought. When Tyson's mother died, Cus became his legal guardian, the closest thing to a father he'd ever had. And the most important thing Cus ever gave him wasn't a punch, it was a philosophy about fear. Cus told him that the hero and the coward feel the exact same fear, identical, in their gut, before they step forward. The only difference is what they do with it. The coward runs. The hero feels every ounce of that same terror and acts anyway. And Tyson took that lesson and turned it into a weapon the world had never seen. Cus gave him an image Tyson never forgot. Fear is like fire. Out of control, it burns your house to the ground. But controlled, directed, that same fire cooks your food and keeps you alive. Fear isn't the enemy. Uncontrolled fear is. So before every fight, Tyson was terrified, genuinely, physically afraid. But by the time he walked to the ring, he had taken that fear and turned it into something closer to a controlled explosion. The same emotion that makes other men freeze made him devastating. At just 20 years old, he became the youngest heavyweight champion in history. The bullied kid was now the most frightening human being alive. But here is where the story turns dark, and where the real lesson lives. The man who built Tyson, Cus D'Amato, died before Tyson ever won the title. And when Cus died, Tyson lost his anchor. The discipline, the structure, the father figure who kept the fire under control, gone. The money came in by the tens of millions. The wrong people surrounded him, and slowly, the controlled fire became a wildfire. Without the discipline that had made him great, all that raw power had nothing holding it in. The same intensity that made him unstoppable inside the ring began to destroy his life outside it. The fall was total, and it was public. The man everyone thought was untouchable was knocked out by a massive underdog the world had written off. He went to prison. He made choices that hurt others and himself, choices he would spend the rest of his life reckoning with. He earned more than $300 million and went bankrupt. Everything the bullied kid had built, the entire empire of fear and dominance, collapsed in front of the whole world. This is the part of the story the highlight reels skip, but it is the most important part because it teaches what raw talent without discipline always eventually becomes. A fire with no one left to control it. Most people's stories end there, at the bottom. Tyson's didn't. From that wreckage, a different man slowly emerged. Quieter, more honest, willing to look directly at his own demons instead of running from them. He stopped pretending he had it all figured out
He did the work on himself he had never done before. He rebuilt his mind, his peace, even his body. Stepping back into the ring in his 50s, not to prove he was the monster again, but to prove he could still face the fear and the work. The most feared man in the world had to learn the hardest fight of all, the one against himself. So here is the full, brutal truth of Mike Tyson. As a young man, he mastered fear and conquered the world with it. Then he learned the hardest way a human can, that mastering fear is not enough. That without the discipline to control the fire, the very power that makes you great will burn down everything you've built. And then he taught one final lesson, that no matter how far you fall, how publicly you fail, it is still possible to stand back up and rebuild if you're finally willing to face yourself. Take the lesson, all of it. Feel the fear and move anyway. That's how you win. But never mistake intensity for discipline. The fire has to be controlled every single day, or it turns on you. And if you've already fallen, if you've already failed in front of people, understand that the bottom is not the end of your story. It's just the place where the real rebuild begins. The terrified, bullied kid from Brownsville became a champion. Then, a cautionary tale. Then something rarer than either, a man who looked his own demons in the eye and kept going. The fear never left him. It never leaves any of us. The only question is, who's controlling the fire? Obey your vision.